Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon, depending at what time and where you are watching this. So, today we finished the series with research and publication strategy for late career for professors. Um, and I will also discuss at the end of the video what should be the strategy that you follow throughout your career from PhD to full prof as far as publications go to maximize your chances in the job market. Okay, so let's get started. Now, um, changing jobs as a full professor is extremely difficult, especially if you are older. Okay, so if you're over 45, 50, it's very difficult. Um, it is even more difficult if you have a reputation for being a difficult person to work with, um, or if you have had um, interactions with with people in the past that that have created a reputation of somebody who is thinks very highly of themselves and so on and so forth. And and I apologize for the my honesty here, but um, if I don't talk about how things are in the real world, then this video will just be a series of platitudes. The reality is that people hire other people to be their colleagues. They don't hire other people to write papers, right? So everybody wants colleagues that that are nice to work with and that everybody gets along really well and so on. Okay, so so it is difficult. It is very difficult to move as full professor. Okay, to a top institution. Okay, so the easiest thing to do as a full professor is if you move down. So if you are an elite institution and you move to a good institution, or if you are a good institution and move down to an institution where there are less resources and less emphasis on research, like a teaching school and so on and so forth. So this is super difficult. I would tell you that I hope I reach full professor this year. Um, and I do hope that I'm not in a situation where I have to go on job market. First, because I'm super happy where I am, but also because it really sucks. It's really difficult, and I definitely don't expect to be able to be at an institution of the same quality that TSAG is today. And this is because the requirements for an attractive full professor profile are really tough. Um, in my experience, hiring people outside that there are two profiles that are successful if they want to move. One are people with super top publications. So these are people that have systematic publications in the very very top journals. And systematic, I mean I'd say at least one every other year, and that are well known in their field. Okay, so that doesn't mean everybody in strategy knows you, but but everybody in strategist practice, if that's what if that's what your field is, knows you. Okay, that's if you're moving. If the only thing you have are publications, that's the level that you need to have um, to be attractive to the job market. That doesn't mean you can't get a job. You can't, but you can. But it is tough. Okay. Second, second profile that I have seen are people that have good publications. So this is a good stream of category 1 publications, again one every other year, roughly, with yearly publications in category 2 or category B. but then that are really able to bring money, and I mean serious amounts of money. Okay, so these are people that either bring money from companies or have research grants with funding for multiple PhD students. Okay, that yes can get you hired, can make you attractive as a full professor. And although this is not necessarily a publication strategy, getting money, it is a research strategy, right? Because a funding proposal is a research activity. Okay, so these I would say are the two profiles. If you're not publishing in top journals and you are not able to attract a lot of money, then what I would say is get some very good online training on learning how to get money. Become a jury if you're in Europe. The European Union opens applications for being juries on European research projects. You learn a lot doing that, and try to learn how to get money from organizations. Um, Otherwise, don't move, or be prepared to move to an institution that has lower research targets. Okay. I know this is not very good news, but that's the reality of the market. Now, coming to the end of these videos, what is the best strategy for your career as a whole? Okay, what should you do? Outside that, the best strategy is a dual pipeline strategy where you're writing papers for top journals or category one journals, but you also have a parallel pipeline with a smaller with papers for category two and occasional category three journals. Um, in my case, that's my strategy. In my case, my leading pipeline for top journals are mostly single author pieces, so that it's very clear the value that I bring to the paper, and also that's because that's my preference. My second year pipeline is our co-author pieces, because that basically helps me share the work of the paper. Well, maybe not very often, but at least occasionally share the work of the paper, and and have time for my top journal pieces. Okay. Also, if my top journal pieces take longer or don't pan out, I still have publications. Um, in parallel with that, I have looked for external funding. I basically look for funding. If I get it, I'll basically run the project and then wait 2 years before applying again. And basically the reason is that writing a new project takes really a lot of time. At this point, funding in Europe is super competitive for management research. So that's what I have been doing. Um, Historically, I've unfortunately only gotten like one big project, but I did get one big project with two PhD students. So that's good, but obviously not good enough if I want to move, right? Now I do have some management experience. So I've been director of research at the ESEC for 3 years, 3.5 years now, and I was director of research in another institution for 4 years. So I'm occasionally headhunted for that. But then it's a personal choice whether you see yourself more as a manager or as a researcher. I really enjoy my job as a manager, but I think the direction of research is the perfect fit for me because it still allows me to get some balance. What I see from my colleagues in jobs in like pure academic management, so director of programs, deans, and so on, is that these jobs like are massive, make for massive cuts in research time, and you can only deal with that with super clever pipeline strategies, super clever. So that's what I would say. Two-tier pipeline plus research projects. Two-tier pipeline means one paper for a top journal for every 2 to 3 papers for low category 1 or category 2, eventually category 3 journals. Remember, category 3 doesn't really count. Something that you should avoid at all costs is writing book chapters. Books, you can still argue that they have some value. Book chapters, don't write them. It may be just submitting, the 30 minutes that you working submitting is time that you could spend writing other papers. Book chapters are completely useless. You're better off submitting a book chapter to a super small like national journal. It's better. It's a journal publication. Okay. There are exceptions. The There are exceptions if you are invited to very prestigious uh, book chapters, but I would even say that only as a networking opportunity. I was invited. I have a book chapter in a super prestigious handbook published by Sage. Uh, you know, doesn't count for anything. Not even the citations are that good. So yeah, forget about it. Don't do it. Don't write book chapters. Books, well, I'll let you be the judge of that and what you want to do in your career. I really love books. I love to read them, and I wish more books were written by academics because they tend to be pretty good. Um, but again, not the easiest output to present in your CV when you're trying to move jobs. Overall, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, I'm happy to discuss with you. Whatever stage you are at your career, based on my experience recruiting people. And obviously, I would like to say that if you are within one of the paths that I discussed in the videos, then just make sure that you apply to IESEG if you think France is an attractive country to live in. I do think it is. And IESEG is a great school, and we hire between 10 and 20 people every year. So do apply to us. Always looking forward to attract new talent. If you're on the job market, I wish you the best of luck. Um, and and if you're not and you're at the late stage of your career, please think carefully before moving away. Just going to check if there are any questions in chat. No questions in chat. So I'll just wish everybody a rest of a good day. I will not be streaming tomorrow nor Saturday. Okay, I have a short trip planned, so I won't be able to stream. But I'll be back to regular service on Monday, back to writing. So anyway, thanks so much for watching and have a great time. Bye bye.